Okay, bring your hands up. Oh, but I get started. Oh, sorry. And down. Yeah, nice deep breath, breathing in, think way up in the sky. And the last couple of weeks I've been introducing the imagery of when you come up, so imagine you're gently grabbing the sun, right? A nice warm glow, and you're gently bringing it down through your body. And you might have a stronger sensation when you do that. But experiment, try different imageries, and see what works for you, what you enjoy. And each imagery will direct the chi a little bit different. For me, thinking of the sun is a little bit broader, more general. You still want to bring it down through the top of your head. Some of them will be more directed. Yeah, but even the sun, you could shrink it and imagine you're just flowing it down your spine, right inside of your bones, into the earth. You just have to play with different imageries to see what works for you. Breathe in from the earth, up through the legs, through the back, the spine, over the top of the head, and down the front of the body. And always a little bit of your mind thinking of your lower dantian. You always have a little bit of chi connected and trickling into your lower dantian. That's your battery. We constantly want to keep it charged. We want to increase the capacity of the lower dantian. Come up from the side, breathing in, extending, and out. And this is a perfect place to practice different imageries. Can you imagine you're staring at a mountaintop? You can imagine you're scanning the horizon. You can imagine you're just staring off into space. Scooping down, filling up the whole body, charging up the whole body. Deep breath and squeeze. Exhaling, twisting, slowly letting go, and then focusing in the bones. And you're pouring all that energy into every bone and slowly twisting and squeezing out, wringing out every bone, flushing it out, and then focus on ligaments and tendons. And slowly let go. And down. So just a quick review. Well, I didn't do it this morning, but we've been doing this, right, where we keep the feet up. If you want to stretch, you can pull it back and you can stretch the back and flex the ankles a little bit, yeah, and then push the knees down, stretch the back of the legs, and then release. But then you want to be able to let the foot fall for a little while. Right? So if it's too far out, it won't fall. Right? You just have to play with that distance. And where you're sitting on the chair, not too far forward, not too far back. Just trying to find where you're far enough in the front to be comfortable without feeling like you're falling. You shouldn't be stiff and trying to keep yourself from falling. Right? We want all the joints loose. So especially in the beginning, press the knees down, flex it so you can feel the back of the leg stretching. And then you want the bottom of the feet open, relaxed, right, flowing into the earth. Top of the head suspended, just back of the giddy, right, the little swirl, right, and it's being pulled and has that light tension, right, just being pulled, and relax and let go of everything as it's being pulled, right, the chin will tilt down, the head will pull back a little bit. Suspending from above will help to align the spine, and constantly check that you're not doing this. This is down, throat is open. Relax the collarbone especially. Relax the chest and let the stomach muscles go. Just let it expand and breathe and let it contract. If you want, you can pull it in to really empty out as much air as possible, and almost like a pause, and then let it go. And you feel it expand, and you feel it pause, and when you relax, you'll start to deflate. Okay, and then we've been really playing with energy, so really listening to the palms, right? And we're practicing pulling, like pulling up a piston and pressing down, or being pulled from above, right? And then being pulled from the bottom, and then pushing and pushing, right? So you control it. It's more that internalizing, where you're controlling your own muscles, right? Pulling or pressing, or something else like a vacuum pulling and pulling, or something pushing, pushing and pushing, and experiment with that. And we've been using, two hands, and one hand up, one hand down, and then switching to the sides. And I've been talking a lot about folding into the hip and letting the hip fold, especially when standing. But even in the chair, if you shift to one side, relax and let this fold. Right? Just let it fold. And if you sink all the way into one hip, right, they'll release the opposite leg, so it'll be neutrally balanced. When you pick it up, it's still muscle. But if you use your hand to pick it up, to help guide it in or out, or to press it down, right, it connects that playing with energy, playing with chi with the palm to the rest of your body. So sinking on one side to release that tension, and then using your palm to help pick up that leg. Right? It can be the same side, or it can be the opposite side. So the goal is to feel what you're doing, to experience that, to connect the top and bottom, connect the hands and the legs, to have that full feeling. Right? When you press out, when you're pressing from here to here, nothing really connects yet, but just when you hit that right angle, you can feel everything get full from the head down through your whole body. Right, everything starts to activate, and then if you want, you can flex this pectoralis muscle just a little bit and hold it out, and that's all you need. Right? You can feel that compression or that stretch the whole body. You don't need to come all the way out here for what we do. You just come to here. The wrist, the heel of the palm is in front of my kneecap. It doesn't even extend to the kneecap. Just to here, and lifting the sternum, and then I can come down and release. So there's a lot of things that we cover, and that's just a real quick review. And I think last week I was emphasizing, there's so much. You can only really focus on one thing at a time. Right? You pick one thing that you want that to be the emphasis of the day, and everything else you kind of touch upon, but you keep coming back to one thing. So if you come into a session, the class or whatever, and you're saying, wow, I really want to work on upper body, Randy's talking about lower body, don't listen to me. Right? Your mindset, you want to train the arms or whatever it is, the palms, and I'm talking about pressing, right? Go ahead and ignore me, right? Because you know what you want to train, and don't let me distract you. You just think of it as what I'm saying is a suggestion. But if you know you want to focus on something really strongly, just do that. Yeah, that'll make me so happy. You know what you want, you know what you want to do, and if you're not sure, you ask me. You don't have to just do everything I say. Yeah, not important. You know what you want to focus on. Go ahead and just do that. I won't know, right? If I'm saying, oh, press the legs and you're thinking palms, I won't know. And then that will make you happier, right? It'll make you more relaxed because you're not trying to copy me. You're just listening to yourself from there. So one more time, bring the hands up. Yeah, bring the feet in. Just find the earth. Just gently press the feet in to the earth and then release them. Take a nice deep breath. Allow your body to expand and relax. Think of the sun in the sky, flowing a little bit of energy down through the top of your head, connected to that little sun in your chest. Relax the face, but smile. Smile from the chest, smile from the heart area. Take a nice deep breath. Allow the lower belly to expand and release. Slowly turn the palms forward, expand the palms, and feel like the fingertips are being pulled from an outside force. And as you breathe in, you want to think about breathing in and think about the fingertips being pulled forward and coordinate your movement, starting with the thought and then just follow that. And coming up to wash your face, relaxing and turning and lift the sternum. Right after halfway, listen for that full feeling and then down, right? Opening up the neck. As you drop the head, be careful not to slump the spine. Want to keep the spine up and expanded. Exhale, tip of the tongue right behind the upper teeth. Remember to think about the movement and let the energy, let the chi, let the blood follow that thought. Follow each other. Look straight ahead and down. See if you can get a continuous motion with the palms. Right, so they're continuously turning and spiraling throughout the whole movement. Last time. And down. One hand up, one hand down, looking to the side. Lift both hands first. Right, and then fold. Looking at the top hand, breathing in as you turn. Relax the lower arm. Relax both arms actually. And exhale when you're ready. Breathing in. And look at the palm first. Or look at the fingertips. Right, and then look at the second finger. Start to narrow your gaze. Breathing in and out. And feel the fingers being pulled and stretched. And then slowly start looking past your palm. Right? Mountaintop, horizon, staring out into space. Whichever one works for you. Come back to center. Height of the throat. Breathe in and out. Right, out and down. Turn the palms, fold the elbows, and gently start to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Trying to get them to touch and then up and over, turning the palms, pulling the shoulder blades forward and down. Nice big rotation. and then forward, turning the palms out. Just take your time on this stretch. Feel what's happening under the shoulder blades and in front by the collarbone. You want to manipulate just the lower inside corner of the shoulder blade, not the top of the shoulder, but the lower inside corner of the shoulder blade. All the way down. Relax and do one side. And notice how I keep both palms open and both fingers stretched and extended, and feeling them being pulled. Remember to think of smiling, that feeling of smiling from the heart area. And then forward. Let the body turn, let the head turn. Oh, thank you, Mary. Yeah. Susie, I don't know if you saw Mary Ruth got her name on. Yeah. Yeah. Slowly let go and do the other side.
Yes, I saw. Thank you.
It's so funny. I'm staring at the small little name on the bottom, thinking, I'm trying to read that, and then I realize, wait, in the center of the box says. Talk about being fixated, yeah. Yeah, pull the shoulder blade out. All the way down. Yeah, then two sides. Just really take your time when you do this roll, because it's such a big stretch. And then slowly release. And then loose circles. Right? Just really loose. Just swinging the arms. And then slow it down. And then put it in with the E, the intent, and the breath, and just follow that movement. And same thing, imagine something else moving the hands for you, something else pulling the hands up and drawing them in a circle, and then releasing them so they can fall, and then pulling them in a nice big circle. Just coordinate the breath, breathing in and out. Feel the shoulders and the elbows dropping. The fingertips are just between the forehead, the top of the head, not too high. And then start to think about the spine. Right? Put your mind on the spine. And then start to pull the spine in one direction, left or right, doesn't matter. And look straight ahead so that the neck will turn. So you pull the spine, then release, and then pull the spine in the opposite direction and release. And then grab the spine and just take your time learning to feel, to think about pulling the spine and feeling it start to turn and just going with that. And the amount of times you turn doesn't have to match the one cycle of breath, doesn't have to match the one cycle of the hands making circles. You can turn multiple times in one breath. So you get that continuous oscillation. You keep the feet flat on the floor but relaxed. That means you feel the feet shifting, all the joints will turn. If you can look straight ahead, if your hands can be right in the front when you turn, and the feet are flat on the floor, then every joint in your body might be turning and shifting in this movement. Last time, breathing in and slowly letting everything fall. And just release the spine. So if you really get that turn going when you do the last one, you might feel your body just wanting to move, and just let it move. Just let it finish turning until it'll just pause by itself. It'll just stop. Okay. All right. Press both feet in and sink into one hip, right? And then to help picking up one leg, right? You still have to kind of hold a little bit of that energy in your palm while that one leg picks up. You can just feel your palms activating a little, then press, right? And then sink into the hip, and then the palms still have to kind of pull a little bit. What I was saying before is now that explains why when you pick up that leg, right, it's hard to totally relax the upper body, right? Because if you don't use the upper body, then it's only muscle, right? So you have to still anchor. But if you have a little bit of that connection, right, where the palms activate, then you can relax, but everything's full, right? And then that, just even if your hands are here, right, if you activate it, right, and stretching and just thinking of the palms, that helps to pick up that leg. But if you're to relax here and not use the body, you can feel how heavy that leg will be. Yeah. Okay, so just reviewing that playing with the chi with your palms. So first we're going to pull, like pulling up a piston. Just relax the feet, right? And then pressing, like you're pumping it back down. Okay, all the way finish, and then something on the top of your hand pulling. So something pulling your hand up, and then something pulling your hand down, right? Like a vacuum. Okay, and then something pushing. So something pushing your hand up, and something pushing your hand down. Okay, so review those three again. So you're going to pull first, right? So you're pulling and drawing that piston up, right? And then you're pressing it back down, right? And then something pulling the back of your hand up, and then something pulling the bottom of your hand down, like a vacuum, and then something pushing your hand up, and something pushing your hand down. Right? So each one gets a little bit more relaxed. So you practice them individually, two hands, one hand up, one hand down, and then you start adding the turn of your waist, sinking into your hip, and then rolling the ball will naturally come out. Yeah? And then you start letting go. Don't think, right? You can start, but you can start thinking, I'm going to pull first, but then after a while, just let it go and see what comes out, right? And then it'll switch back and forth. And it might switch back and forth between all three. All right, so press the feet down first, and then press one leg down, and then sink into one hip. You can feel the other leg release, left or right, doesn't matter. Okay. And then begin picking up, relaxing the bottom of the other foot, stepping out, right? Use the palms to connect, sink into the hip and press. Displace the earth chi, and then slowly let it down, and then press. Releasing the front leg, bringing it back. Okay. Connect the hands with the leg. And just breathe naturally. Keep the head suspended. Keep the bottom of the foot relaxed. And just listen to how the palm connects and helps picking up the leg, or helps displace the earth chi to pick up the other leg, even if it's falling. Release. Yeah, notice there's a little release in between each movement. Release in the joints. A little less pressure in the palms during the transition. Right here, there's a little less. And then a little bit more. Right here, a little less, and then a little bit more. And then holding, and then a little less, and then pulling, and then a little less, and then switching. So listen to the body. It's not just holding 100% or 0% the whole time. Right? It goes to 100, just a little bit, and then it ramps up again. Okay? Come out and come back. Nobody's there. They're in Oregon. Yeah. And hold the ball. Okay. Drop one knee and turn. And remember, there's cables pulling attached to the fingers, and those cables are pulling the fingers forward. And allow the spine to turn, and then pull the spine, and then release the spine. And drop the other knee, right? And turn. Start pulling the spine and pulling on the fingertips straight ahead. Breathing in, and then release. You can take a bigger step if you want. Pull the spine. Pull the fingertips straight out. Pull the spine and release. Take a bigger step out. Pull the spine. Pull the fingertips. Take your time. You might have to start one imagery first and then do the next imagery. Do one more and then we'll do a smaller range of motion. Okay. Remember, these larger leg movements they're all optional. Right? Only what's comfortable for you. And then just do the first one, right? Just dropping the knee. Want to end with a small movement. Come back to center. Turn the palm. Keep. And we're going to do the palms open. So breathing in, picking up. Fingertips are being pulled out. Bottom of the feet are being pulled out. Press the knee down. And then with the palm to help, pick up the leg. Bring it back. Gently bring it down and then switch other side. Hand and leg work together. Fingertips being pulled out. The palms helping to hold the leg. Press the knee down. Lift. Other side. Heel, knee, and then pump the foot. And lift. Other side. Heel, press the knee down, pump the foot, extend, lift. And you can feel how turning the palm helps to keep that foot up. And then the last one, adding the waist turn. So heel and knee and pump and pull the spine. And then release. Other side. Heel, press the knee down, pump, pull the spine. And then release. And then just move. Do one more each side. So you study each movement separately, and then in the end you just move and let it flow from one movement to the other. And breathe in and let it go. Okay, again, feel the palms helping to pick up the chi. Right? Hold that ball. Feel how that holding that ball of chi in front of your heart helps to just activate the whole body. Right? You sink into one leg, sink into one hip. So one leg releases, and then holding that chi helps you to pick up the other leg, 45, and flex. Shoulders down, bottom of the foot relaxed of the standing leg. Open the throat, smile. Send that sun energy down through your body. Other side, right? Gently press it down, press, and then sink into the hip. And then hold that ball of chi to help the leg move. Standing leg, the bottom of the standing foot is relaxed. Nice deep breaths of air. Shoulders down. Again, switching. Small toe, big toe. Other side. Okay. And slowly release. Okay, draw the heels up. Pull the heels up. Relax the upper body. Pull the stretch and stretch the toes. And if you feel them cramping, just shake them out. Yeah, just shake them out. And then again, pull. Yeah, shake them out. Okay. All right, gentle compression, loose fist on the side too. Yeah. So, yeah, really study. You pick up the leg. So I talk about this all the time. You have to press and then sink into the hip joint. You sink into the hip joint, right? And even especially when standing, you shift, sink into this hip joint, and you shift and let let the joint fold. Let the body turn into that joint. Right? Then the heel will just you feel it release, okay? But it's not going to float up by itself. So if you don't use the upper hand, if you don't use this playing with energy, right? The muscle still has to pick up the leg. And if all you're doing is pressing here, sinking here, and turning and picking up the leg, right? It feels heavy. But if you pull the leg up, right, and you think about pulling it up, you can feel the difference. Right? So you can feel the difference of not using the upper body and trying to pick up the leg, and then holding that chi. Right? The leg can get lighter, and you can feel a little pressure difference, and you can feel if you actually imagine yourself picking up the leg. Right? So you pick up the leg, right? And then it's going to come out with the leg, and then helping to guide it down. Right? And as you press, it'll release, and then it'll press some more. Right? As you're pressing the chi into the earth, you're going to displace the other leg. Right? So sinking the chi down here, right, will displace the earth chi to help really bring up here. Then you're going to release just a little bit, right, as you let it down, right, and then pull that other leg up. Yeah. The more you can relax, right, then the more you use just the energy you need to use, and you start to feel that come out. All right. So yeah, relax. Think of the palms, the bottom of the feet. Okay, extend, stretch. Oh, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let everything go. Nice deep breath and down. Let everything go through the body. Yeah, come up, breathing in. One more time. Expand all the joints. Yeah. And the third time, just Slowly shake everything out. Yeah, loosen everything up. Right? Like shaking out a cord that's full of twists and bends. Gently loosening it, shaking everything out. And down. So listen to the palms. Right? Grabbing or being pulled or pressing or being pushed. Yeah. And the more you relax, the more coordinate with the rest of your body. Okay, so run through our set. Run through our extended 42. Right? This is a Taichi for health, arthritis, fall prevention. Gently close your eyes. Just a sliver of light. Check your alignment. Right? Top of the head suspended. Shoulders down, not holding on to anything in the upper body. Not holding on to the belly. Just let it expand and contract. Right? Find where your feet are comfortable. You can just press into the earth without shifting. You can let go of the hips and the knees and then feel the bottom of your feet being pulled into the earth. Always checking that your breathing is relaxed. And then sink your shoulders, sink the breath to the lower dantian. Feel the palms starting to expand, the fingers starting to expand, and finally the fingertips are being pulled from outside. Take a deep breath as you slowly open your eyes, looking straight ahead. You can imagine the mountaintop, the horizon, or just staring off into space, or just gently staring at the sun. Okay, commencement, breathing in, picking up the ball of chi, waking it up, bringing it into your heart, sinking, activating everything. Number 2, rolling. Move that energy around. Introduce it to all your organs, not just the heart. Rising through the central channel up to the top of the head and out and back. Number 3, open and close. Number 4, single whip. Pull the spine to the right while pressing the palms out. Then release the spine and turn the palms, raising the height of the palms. Look at the left. 1 south. Release the spine and pull the spine to the right. And then release the spine. And then pull the spine to the left. And then release the spine. And then pull the spine to the right. And release the spine. Pull the spine and release. And then pull the spine and bring the hands back to center and release the spine. Just let it spring a little to the left as it spirals back to the center. Nice deep breath, taking your time. Repeat on the left side. Pull the spine to the left and pull the hands out. And as you release the spine, let the palms flatten, looking at the right fingers. From single whip to 1 south, pull the spine and release. Pull the spine and release. Pull the spine, release. And one more time, pull the spine and release. And then pull the spine and release. And then pull the spine and bring your palms back to center and release. And let it spring back to the right and just oscillate back and forth as you do an open and close, resetting everything. Brushing the knee, right side. So pull the spine to the right and pull the fingertips straight up, holding the chi with your left palm. Pull the fingers forward and then release the spine, lift the sternum, flow from your heart out through your palm. Right? Keep on turning. Palms turn center, height of the heart, then release the spine. And then pull the spine to the right and pull the left fingertips forward, holding the pipa. Then release the spine and twist to the left. Right hand under the left elbow. Shooting palms or parry. Pull the spine and switch, release. Pull the spine and release and cover. Left hand flips over. And then pull the spine until the wrist is outside of the leg. Breathe in and start to grab. And as you release the spine, squeeze the fist. So the right fist pulls forward and pull the spine to the left. And then release the spine. So the hands come to the center, wrist over wrist. And draw back. Gather, compress, lift the sternum. Pull the palms forward. And release the wrist. Draw the hands back to the heart, smiling, resetting. And then repeat on the left side. Pull the spine to the left, pull the fingertips up, supporting with the right palm. Pull the fingertips forward and release. Flow the chi from the heart out through the left palm. Keep on turning. Pull the spine. Hu pipa. Release, and then pull the spine to the left. Pull the right fingertips forward. Hu pipa right here. And then release and twist and release and parry left. Pull the spine and release and parry right. And then pull the spine and release and cover. Wrist on wrist. And pull the spine until the hands are outside of the left knee. Start to breathe in and grab. And then release the spine. Squeezing the fist. Pull the left fist up. Pull the spine a little to the right and then release. And let the body just oscillate back and forth as you draw and gather. Lower dantian and lift and exhale. Pull the palms forward and then release. And come back to the heart. Repeat on the left side. Right? Pull the spine to the left, pull the fingertips up. I'm going to brush knee followed by leisurely tying the quilt. Pull the fingertips forward and then release the spine and flow the heart energy out through your palm. Pull the spine a little bit to the right and then release. And then pull the spine to the left and then release. Pull the spine to the left. Feel the palms being sucked down. And then in towards the dantian. Release the spine and feel the palm being pulled upwards. And then release and pull the spine to the left. Pull the fingertips out. And as you release the spine, feel the fingertips being pulled in a nice spiral. Come back to the heart. Fingertips connected. And then release at the heart. Smiling. Right side, brush the knee, followed by leisurely tying the quilt. So pull the spine to the right, pull the fingertips up, pull the hips forward, then release. Flow the heart energy out of your right palm. Pull the spine a little bit left, and then as you release, it springs back in. Left hand circles up. Pull the spine to the right and pull the palms down and in towards the belly button. And then release the spine and pull the palm up like a vacuum, pulling the palm up. Pull the spine to the right, tuck the elbows, pulling the fingertips forward, and then release the spine and pull the fingertips in the big spiral. The middle fingertip still connected to the wrist, and then it releases. One, open and close. Fist under elbow. Pull the spine to your right and press out. And then release the spine and drop your right hand as you turn. And then pull your spine and dial the palm. Circle the palm down And as you release the spine, the bottom hand grabs a fist and turns up. And then pull your spine to the right until fist under elbow, right in the center. Breathe in. And then as you release the spine, feel the fist being pulled forward, starting to rise, squeeze, and then release. And then release the spine. So you start turning to your right, and then pull the spine to the right on Repulse Monkey, and release. Flow that heart energy out of the right palm. Keep on turning. Pull the spine to the left. You keep on turning. Fingertips. Flow that heart energy out. Pull the spine to the right. Keep on turning. Pull the fingertips up. Release. Heart energy. Brush the knee. Leisurely tying the coat. So you pull the spine a little bit left, and as you release, you spring back. And you let the left hand come up and the right hand come down. You pull the spine a little bit to the right, and as you release, the hand fall, and then pull the spine to the left. Rotate, right? And release the spine and lift the palm, or pull the palm up, right? And then pull the spine to the right, pull the fingertips out, and as you release the spine, you spring back and pull the fingertips. Right fingertip, right on the wrist, and then release. Open and close. Okay, and then the last section, fist under elbow, left side, I'm sorry. Pull the spine to the left, and press and pull. And as you release the spine, let it open and drop your left hand. And as you pass center, pull the spine to the right and rotate the palm. And then as you release the spine, the bottom hand grabs a fist and faces up. And then pull the spine, breathing in. And as you release the spine, let the fist be pulled forward, rising and opening, and then pull the spine to the right, and then release. And then pull the spine to the left and Repulse Monkey, breathing in, and brush the knee. Flow that heart energy out of your left palm, and then keep on turning. Pull the spine, breathing in and release, and flow that heart energy. Release, and then pull the spine for third Repulse Monkey, breathing in, right to the center, and release and flow that heart energy out. Pull the spine to the right and release. Leisurely tying the coat, the right hand circles up, and pull the spine, and then release. The palm being sucked down and in towards the lower dantian, rotating up. Release the spine. The palm being sucked forward. Tuck the elbow and pull the spine to the left, and pull the fingertips out. And then as you release the spine, big spiral. Come to the heart. Left fingertip on the wrist, center of the wrist, and then release. Sink the air down. Drop the shoulders, drop the elbows, turn the palm, breathe in. Lift the sternum, double palms pressing. Right, just holding that lightest tension. Right, not letting go of it too early. Just slowly let it go. Slowly. And press both feet into the earth and sink into one side. Bring one foot back. Relax the shoulders and just use that energy in the palm to help bring that foot back. Only in the palm. Press and then slowly let everything go. When you can breathe, relax, and everything lets go, and then cycle up, gather. Like smiling in the heart, in the chest. Connect with that sun in the sky. Gently breathing in, flowing down through the top of your head. Right, helping to release any blockage we might have created. Imagine it flowing through all the meridians, all the bones, all the nerves, all the organs, the circulatory system. the nervous system, the lymphatic system, relaxing the bottom of the feet, guiding that energy through the body gently. One last time. Bring the palms together. Gently tap the forehead, take a breath. Breathing out through the center of the palm. In through the forehead, out through the center of the palm, and then throat. And then heart. Slowly let all the tension go. Slowly release. Take a deep breath and pull the heels up. And as you exhale, slowly release. Alright, slowly move around. Yeah, open and close your hands. I do it opposite. Everybody else starts with open and close. I end with it. Yeah, shake it out. Stretch. Yeah. Stretch. And release. Okay, let's do a short bell meditation. And then we'll take a break and come back for the second half. Just sit comfortably. Hands can be open, resting. They can be down, resting. They can be in the mudra at your heart. Right? You can touch just the fingertips if you want and see what works. This is a common one, yeah. Just sitting here. Yeah. If you've never tried meditating with the Om sound, the Om, it's just that little hum, the Om, and you can go on YouTube and you can find it, especially in YouTube, and you'll find the frequency. And basically, the Om sound, you're trying to recreate, well, by using the Om sound to recreate the frequency that Earth hums at. So you're doing the Om to hum, to have the same frequency as the Earth, right? So there's no resistance with the Earth. So that means you're vibrating with the Earth, and then you can blend in. So help you blend into the Tao, right? You're not at a different frequency. Different frequency could be in tune, there could be disharmonic, but if you're at the same frequency, vibrating the same wavelength, right, then you just blend right into that. So there's so much stuff on YouTube and all over, but that would be the Om sound. Yeah. All right, connect with the sun, down through the top of your head to the little sun in your chest, warm and cool, putting out energy to your whole body. Relax your face, but smile. The feeling of smiling. Just take your time. You slowly open your eyes. Yeah, rub your hands together. Just warm up and just gently brush. Yeah, especially if you're done for today, make sure you do this slapping. Yeah, it helps to loosen up everything. Make sure everything is awake. Help to make sure if you had tension somewhere, help to open that up and release any blockage. All right, so we'll take a break and then we'll come back. Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you.
Thank you,